Hey everyone, Paul here from TabletopGamer.com, and in this video I just wanted to do a little bit of an update, to talk about what's going on here at Tabletop Gamer Studios and what we've got planned for 2016 and forward. So first of all, if you guys haven't already checked it out, we have launched a store, an online store now at TabletopGamer.com, where we're showcasing some of the terrain that we're now creating. It's laser cut terrain made out of MDF and acrylics and stuff like that. And we're starting to create terrain. We've already launched a bunch of terrain pieces for games like 40K and Warhammer Fantasy, or I guess Age of Sigmar now. But what we're going to be focusing on next is, and I'm always going to be designing terrain for 40K, and because I mean it's still, even to this day, it's still the most popular game out there. A ton of people play it. It's still, as far as traffic and sales on our site, it's still, the king of that, in this niche. But I took a break from this hobby from about 2011 to the beginning of 2015. And when I came back to the hobby, one of the things that really just blew me away is the popularity of a lot of the smaller skirmish type games that have just basically exploded onto the scene and have been doing really well. So I want to show my support for those games by designing terrain for them, by creating terrain pieces to be, that can be used and played in those games, and also to to help the companies sell some miniatures by offering those on our store as well. So we're going to be stocking some miniatures from games like Infinity, Malifaux. Wrath of Kings is another game that I really like. I haven't played it. I actually haven't seen I don't have the miniatures yet. We've ordered some in, but I just found out about them about 2 weeks ago, and I looked at because I wasn't here when the Kickstarter came out. I think it was 2013 when they launched the Kickstarter. I wasn't in the hobby at that point in time. I was taking a break from it, and when I saw it a couple weeks ago, when I heard about it, I looked at it and I'm like, oh my god, these miniatures look absolutely amazing. So I'm really excited to check that game out and dive into it and learn everything I can about it, so I can start creating some terrain for it as well. But that's basically the focus. When I left, Malifaux was, I think, in version 1.5. I think I have the version 1.5 rulebook somewhere, which I just started diving into before I had to take a break. Infinity was I think it was in its second version at that point. But now, I come back and Infinity's, you got N3 now, and Malifaux is in its second version now. And these games look awesome. So I'm going to be diving into them, starting a brand new army in Malifaux. I actually picked I decided to start with the Arcanist faction. Picked up this Karis box as a starting point. And I'll be building these guys as well as, I think I'm going to start a Gremlins army as well, because some of the miniatures just look really cool. But I want to learn the game because I don't really know how to play it too well. I've only read through some, the rule book for version 1.5. 2.0 is brand new to me, so I've got that coming in probably this week. I'll start diving into that. And same thing with Infinity. I just got the rulebook for N3, so I'm reading through all of that, and then I want to dive into Wrath of Kings as well. And the idea behind that is I want to learn everything I can about these small skirmish games, build some armies, learn how to play the games, so that when I design terrain for them, the terrain doesn't just look good, it also functions well in the game and makes sense strategically, for when you're playing the game, right? Because it's one thing to create terrain that looks pretty cool, but if it doesn't make sense within the game, or if it doesn't fit in with the rules, or if it just kind of clunky and doesn't make sense, then you guys won't enjoy it as much. So I want to be as educated as I possibly can in these smaller skirmish type games when I'm creating the terrain for them. Okay, so that's what I'll be focusing on. 2016 is the year that I dive into these games and build out a bunch of terrain pieces for especially for those three games: Malifaux, Infinity, and Wrath of Kings. That's what we're going to be focusing on. Now, as I'm working on that, I'm focusing on getting the building the terrain and fulfilling orders. And I want to thank everybody who has placed an order with us so far at TabletopGamer.com for the terrain. It's been awesome, right? The support that you guys have shown has just got me so excited. I'm really pumped up to design more terrain for you guys. But that's basically what I'm going to be doing. So as I'm focusing on that and learning these games, and so I can be a better terrain designer for you guys, I'm also bringing on board a friend of mine who, he's been kind of watching me in this hobby for years and years, and he didn't really have time to dive into it until about halfway through of last year, and I kind of pulled him into the hobby, took him to the game store. He picked up a set of 40K Space Marines, started learning about that. But he's also going to be diving into Malifaux with me and Infinity and learning those games. So we're just kind of, we're building out armies. We're going to help each other stay accountable. We're going to paint them up. We're going to start playing the games and learning the games. And I'm bringing him on board. He's going to start doing some videos for us as well for this channel. So stay tuned for that. He's he's a beginner in the hobby, but one of the things that I've seen since coming back last year is that there's been a ton of new people, brand new people who have, just picked up, their first set of Malifaux or Infinity or some of these smaller games, or even Warhammer 40K or Age of Sigmar or whatever, all these new starter sets that have come out. There's a lot of new players that have come into this hobby, and and they're looking for help. They're looking for some of the fundamentals, the beginner stuff. So my friend, his name is jbeil. He's going to be shooting some videos, and as he's learning the stuff, as he's going through and learning some things in the rule books and learning how to play these games and learning how to build the models and to paint them and stuff like that, and he's going out there and researching all the different strategies and techniques and stuff like that, he's going to be creating content and videos to share that journey with you guys. So for other people who are just getting started in the hobby, or have haven't been around for a while, or maybe you've been in the hobby for a while but you haven't played Malifaux or Infinity or Wrath of Kings or something like that, I think some of the content that he creates will be very practical and useful for you, especially for people who are just getting started in the hobby. And for him as a beginner to be going through that process and just learning all the new all the starting point stuff, I think it'll be cool for him to kind of report on that and show people, what he's learned. And if he tries something and it doesn't work out, he can report on that. And if he creates some videos on that, and if he tries some new products and stuff like that, because there's a lot of people in this hobby who have been around for a long time, like 10, 20, 30 years or more. And the thing is that techniques have changed, right? Like, even people who have been around for a long time, people getting started right now, they have a completely different tool set to work with. Like, I was at the game store recently, and now Citadel has those basically base coat spray paint bottles, right? And as far as painting is concerned, like, that to me that changes a lot of things, because now you don't have to, I haven't used them. I don't know. Are they good? Do they work well? Do they cover well? How do they compare to brushing on and doing your basing with a brush, right? So, content like that, this is the kind of stuff that jbeil can come in, get some paints, paint some of these guys up, and just test it out and see and compare, okay, what does it look like when we, use a brush, and what does it look like when we spray it, that kind of stuff, right? So that's the kind of content that we'll see. We're bringing him on board. He's going to start doing some videos, and he'll see if he likes doing the videos. And if so, we'll continue on, and we'll, pump out a bunch of videos for you guys. And I also want to start doing more videos for you guys as well, especially as I'm diving into painting my new miniatures army for Malifaux and for Infinity. I think for Infinity, I'm going to do Nomads and Toha. Those are my two favorite factions right now. I'm still learning a little bit about Toha. Nomads, I've read through a bunch of their, the fluff behind them and the backstory, and it's just, to me, it's awesome. I just love that. And models, they're phenomenal. Like, the stuff that Infinity's been releasing in the last couple of years is just completely mind-blowing. Wrath of Kings got me really, really excited. That game is just, the models look amazing. So definitely diving into that. So we're actually going to start stocking Wrath of Kings. We're probably going to have the entire range of miniatures on our store. Once again, that's TabletopGamer.com. Or you can go to our site, which is TabletopGamer.com, and then I'll have a big link there for the store as well, so whichever. We're going to be stocking some of the Malifaux range, definitely, you know, the starter sets, and then, you know, maybe some of the more popular pieces. And if there's something that you're looking for from Malifaux, Infinity, or Wrath of Kings, and we don't have it in stock, just feel free to send us an email and let us know. We can always, you know, order it in for you guys. So we're going to be stocking Malifaux as well. Infinity, we already actually have some of the miniatures up there, some of the starter sets. We're sourcing out some of the inventory from different places because some of it is actually sold out, and believe it or not, like, it's hard to get some of the sets out there, especially the starter sets. So, but what we do have is on our site. So, and that range is gonna be growing, provided you guys are, you know, interested in that. If you guys order the minis from us, then we'll increase our line. We'll stock more inventory. And the idea behind that, the reason why. Just to quickly cover this, the reason why I wanted to start carrying miniatures, because originally I was just going to design, create, and sell the tabletop terrain on our site, and that was it. I just wanted to design terrain, create it, and sell it on our site, and that's what I started with. But one of the things I realized in this hobby, and you know, when I'm ordering stuff and what you guys are ordering as well, is that shipping plays a part in the process of making the decision of what you're buying. So if you're ordering some terrain, for example, and let's say you're getting some terrain for Infinity or for Malifaux, and you're spending, let's say, 30 or 40 bucks or something like that, and let's say you're spending like 10 bucks for shipping, right? Well, if you're spending 40 bucks and you're spending 10 bucks for shipping, right, that's basically like, you know, 20%, right? Is that right? 20% of your the money that you're spending is going to the shipping company. That doesn't go into our pockets. That just goes straight to the couriers that deliver the package to your doorstep, right? So now, let's say you're buying some terrain for Malifaux from us, right? And my thinking is, well, if you're ordering terrain from us, and we happen to also have some miniatures, like let's say you were going to get this starter set, why not be able to, like, wouldn't it be cool if you can order the terrain that you're looking for and also go, okay, well, I'll also throw in this starter set into the mix, and because we charge a flat rate shipping fee, you don't pay shipping on that, meaning you don't pay any extra shipping for throwing in that order of miniatures with your order of terrain, right? So that's kind of my thinking behind it. Is primarily we want to sell, you know, we're focused on our terrain. That's our main core business, is designing tabletop miniature terrain for you guys, right? But we're stocking these miniatures as more of a convenience as well. It's just so that if you're ordering terrain, and hey, you know, if there's a miniature that you need or something like that to add to your army or whatever, might as well throw it in there, because it's already, you know, then you're not paying double for shipping, compared to if you ordered the terrain from us and then went to a different online store and bought that specific miniature from a different store. Even if we're selling at the same price, usually you're paying double for shipping, because you have to pay shipping from us and you have to pay shipping for them. So that's kind of what we're looking at. So we're going to see how that goes. If you guys, you know, if we see the support from you guys, if you know, if you're ordering the terrain, which you guys have been, and I'm very grateful, you know, for that. If you continue to do that and also order miniatures from us, we have no problem stocking inventory in those to make it available to you guys, right? And some of the other reason is also for some of the products, like for some of these games like Infinity and Malifaux, if you can't really, it's not easy to get access to these things. I mean, Games Workshop stuff is pretty easy to get access to locally in most areas, but for Malifaux and for Infinity especially, here, hey, in this area, I don't know, maybe where you're at, they might have a bunch of stores with a lot of inventory, but some of the stuff is actually kind of hard to get a hold of. So, you know, we figured why not offer that to you guys, and if you're in the market for some miniatures, check out our store, right? So, and thirdly, the third reason is for games like Wrath of Kings, and again, Infinity and Malifaux as well, some of these smaller skirmish type games, we also want to show our support, right? Because we're creating terrain for them, and we want to show our support for the game creators and the manufacturers of these minis, and stocking their minis and making them available for people to purchase. And also by creating some of these videos that we're going to be doing, we want to do building videos, unboxing videos, we want to do painting videos, we might do some battle reports, so we want to show our support for those gaming systems as well through that process. So, you know, and having that inventory on hand is going to make that process a lot easier. So that's pretty much it for the update. The last thing I wanted to do is I wanted to introduce you guys to my good friend jbeil. So I got him to shoot a really quick video clip just introducing himself and you know, and revealing which faction he picked for Malifaux. And I'm not sure if can't remember if in that video he talks about Infinity as well, if he reveals which faction he picked for Infinity, or if he's even picked one for Infinity yet. But I know he's picked his faction for Malifaux. So I'm going to queue up that video in a couple seconds here, and yeah, and I'll see you guys in future videos. There's going to be a few videos that jbeil is going to come in and do, probably some unboxings and stuff like that. And we're just going to kind of alternate. I'll do some videos. He's going to come in and do a bunch of videos as well, and kind of go back and forth. All right. So I'll see you guys in the next video. And here's my good friend jbeil.
Hi guys, my name is jbeil. I've known Paul a long time here, and I've always been fascinated by the miniatures that he's been painting and building and telling me about, and I never really had a chance to get into myself, but I finally decided to dive into this and learn about the Malifaux and the Infinity games, and he invited me on to make some videos for TabletopGamer.com. So I'll be, primarily focusing on some Malifaux content here as I learn the game, get into it, learn how it works, how to build them, how to paint them, and then how to play them. So I'll be sharing my journey with you guys here, as well as diving into some Infinity stuff later on here with Paul. But for now, I'll be focusing on Infinity, and just to start off my journey here, I've basically going to be starting off with the 10 Thunders faction here. So I'll be putting up a lot of content on this specific faction, as this is the one I'll be building out. However, I will touch on some of the other ones as we go through here, and try to share with you guys as much as I'm learning here, and pass that knowledge over to you guys. So stay tuned for some more videos coming from us. So the first one will be an unboxing of this guy right here, which is the Temple of Dawn 10 Thunders box set here. So this will be the next video I'll be putting out. Other than that, stay tuned, subscribe to our channel. There should be a link below here in this video to do that, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.